In the headlines, one man in custody following the death of a Bellevue-Chopin resident over the weekend. Dominica's chances of being home to a Sandals resort is still very slim. And the first ever Sickle Cell Recreation Center on the cards for Dominica. I am Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. Thank you for staying with us. First up, could Miss Lee Roll's death be an accident, suicide, or murder? On Monday, 12 September, Channel 5 News reported a vehicular accident in the Bioche area where the body of 28-year-old Miss Lee Roll was discovered in a wrecked vehicle at the bottom of a cliff. Since then, Channel 5 News has been reliably informed that a male individual was arrested and released in connection with the incident. That same individual was again arrested on Wednesday at the Douglas Charles Airport based on new information received. The individual is now in police custody at the police headquarters in Roseau. At this point, his alleged connection to the accident is unknown, as an official report has not been released by the police. Channel 5 News will continue to follow the developments of this story and provide details as they become available. On the tourism scene now, as Sandals Resorts International seeks to expand in the Caribbean, Dominica is not on the list of hospitality companies' immediate expansion plans. The word from Chief Executive Officer of Sandals, Adam Stewart, who addressed some 40 journalists in Barbados attending the State of the Tourism Industry Conference. Stewart, however, suggested to Channel 5 News that he is not ruling out the possibility of investing in Dominica, stating that Sandals is a Caribbean company.
If we found something that made good sense, I would say we'd consider more than just your beautiful island, but the rest.
But have you visited the island personally and seen any areas of interest there?
I have been there, but I have not been scouting there. For all of you that are in so many different places, the intention of finding a proposition that's appropriate for the company. For example, down in Grenada, we fell in love with the La Source property and waited 13 years from our first offer to be able to acquire that property because it had a propensity to be sandalized, as we call it, to be what it was that we wanted. We looked at many other bits of real estate, but we're very fussy about having the kind of grade A, what we would loosely call in the company grade A real estate, that makes, Sandals sits at the top of the segment called all-inclusive. So there are many different all-inclusive propositions. We are fussy about our beaches, we're fussy about where the hotel is, the privacy of it.
Sandals has 24 properties, including Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, and St. Lucia in the Eastern Caribbean and Barbados. It has plans to construct a resort in Tobago, with another project coming on stream in Barbados. Stewart says any country can expect increased economic activity due to Sandals' investment there.
Actually, in dialogue with the government of Trinidad and Tobago, said we wanted to come there, and I fly there on Sunday night to meet the THA and the business community, the Chamber of Commerce, the Farming Association. So we will stand up and we will forecast consumptions of what we'll buy in local manufacturing, of local farming. We'll talk about the 1,800 new jobs that we will create. We'll show the overall economic impact and the economic influx that can come when jet service becomes easy. All tides rise. As we go into a market, we don't look to do anything but participate in the best way possible. So we believe as the region's most successful indigenous brand, that all tides rise when we go in.
Moving on to foreign relations, Prime Minister the Honorable Roosevelt Scarrett on Thursday received a courtesy call from the ambassador of the Russian Federation to Dominica, His Excellency Vladimir Vinokurov.
One of the main highlights for the Excellency's visit is to improve and strengthen relations between both countries.
Try to do everything to expand the cooperation and, to promote the educational ties that you spoke about. We are interested to continue and this cooperation in the area of education. And I'll see what I can do to facilitate this area of cooperation. and of course to establish a solid legal basis for our relations.
The ambassador informed that currently discussions are being held with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on the draft agreement to be signed. He informed that economic and trade preparations have already begun whilst trying to locate opportunities for improvement. He assured the Prime Minister once a clear picture is given, the information will be brought back to Russia's embassy to be worked on. Meanwhile, the PM commended the efforts of President Putin in negotiating a ceasefire to end the hostilities in Syria.
Express our gratitude to your president and your country for negotiating the ceasefire in Syria. And we do hope that the ceasefire will sustain itself and that the nation of Syria can settle down and this place can be resettled, can be settled back into your countries and the country can be prosperous again. So we want to recognize the efforts of the Russian president in negotiating the ceasefire in Syria. And of course, as I said, on our bilateral relations, rest assured of our continued solidarity with the Russian Federation, with the government of Russia, and whatever we can do to work on mutually beneficial matters in the international arena. Dominican more than willing to cooperate with Russia in those matters.
The ambassador said he anticipates an end to hostilities and successful negotiation.
Thank you for your words of support, and we hope, of course, that the ceasefire will work and that there would be progress in resolution of the situation in Syria, and that would be an example, a good example of how international community can cooperate to resolve other issues, of which there are many.
Now to culture, where this year's 38th independence celebrations will have a slight twist as 2 new activities have been added to the calendar of events.
Following Tropical Storm Erica, the committee saw it fit to embrace this year's activities as they were unable to host the full calendar of events last year. Chairman of the Independence Celebrations Committee, Raymond Lawrence, confirmed that a National Emblems Week and Shop Dominica is officially part of the activities.
A new activity being introduced by the Independence Committee this year is National Emblems Week from October the 17th to the 21st, with Flag Day starting off the week on Monday, October the 17th. During the week, media houses, schools, and community organizations are encouraged to feature the various national emblems in their programs and activities. The second secondary school's Creole choral speech competition will be held at the Arawak on the morning of Wednesday, October the 19th. Creole in the North is scheduled this year for Saturday, October the 22nd from 6 p.m. at the Indian River facility in Portsmouth. This year, Heritage Day will be held in the very vibrant community of Maho.
Lawrence called on all Dominicans to redouble their efforts to build our nation as this year's theme is strengthening with commitment to nation building.
The independence celebrations will open with an exciting ceremony at the scenic and beautiful Layo Beach on Saturday, September the 24th from 5 p.m. in collaboration with the Titiwi Festival, which takes place that Saturday and continues on the Sunday. At the opening ceremony, there will be performances by Ophelia, Mikkel Henderson, Janet Jackson, the Pebush, Capuchin and Flamboyant cultural groups, the Karina cultural group, the Waitakabuli Dance Theatre, Ian Anthony, the Pebush drummers, and Tradibel, among others.
Meanwhile, Acting Chief Cultural Officer Jacinta David reminded that the National Cultural Gala is the highlight of the independence activities.
When all groups from all over the island converge on one stage to display their talents in the varied manifestations of Dominica's rich cultural heritage. The National Cultural Gala has been with us from 1965 and is the legacy of the late Premier Edward Oliver LeBlanc. The Cultural Gala this year promises to be very special. It will feature the best of traditional and contemporary performers, singers, musicians, dancers, and the first serenade band.
This year's Independence activities opens with National Day of Prayer this Saturday. Kenny Williams, Channel 5 News.
In matters of health, a United Kingdom-based family with roots in Dominica is looking to establish the first ever sickle cell recreation center here. This is in light of the month of September being observed as Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and members of the Williams family felt it was the ideal time to begin the process in Dominica of raising awareness to the plight of sickle cell patients. Director of Sickle Plus UK, Natania Williams, told Channel 5 News that she has been in touch with the Sickle Cell Society here and is hoping to garner great support for their dream of a sickle cell recreation centre.
When we're building it, we have to consider what is good for sickle cell patients themselves. They have to stay away from stress. They have to have very healthy lifestyles. So the centre will be promoting a very healthy lifestyle and a stress-free environment. We have found some beautiful hotels that need to be renovated, and so we have a few on the list at the moment that we are interested in. And so I don't want to say too much about the location as yet. The recreational centre will also be part hotel, so we'll be running as a hotel but as a recreational centre in turn, which facilitates different healthy lifestyles. We will also be promoting Dominican products within the hotel as well, so we're going to be doing as much as we can to promote Dominica on a whole within the centre once it's built.
Williams says one of the ways the organization is looking to raise money and awareness for those affected by sickle cell disease is through the creative arts.
We've released a song and it's in aid of sickle cell awareness. It's produced by a group called Rudimental, who are very well known all around the globe. They have #1s everywhere and they're award winning, so they're great guys and they've done a really good for the cause. The name of our organisation is called Sickle Plus. And what we do is we put together different events, different workshops, and they're for sickle cell sufferers, but they're also for people who just are interested in the cause, or just for people who enjoy different activities that we have that are going on.
Sickle Plus UK was founded in the United Kingdom in 2007. Co-founder of the institution says they hope to further educate the public and break the stigma associated with sickle cell disease.
A lot of people think that sickle cell only affects the black diaspora race. Well, that's not the case. 1 in 1,000 Caucasians have it. They also found the first Jewish-Israeli family to have the trait in the year 2000. 1 in 50 Asians have got it. Hispanic people have got it. Red Indians have got it. Italians, certain parts of Italy have got it. Greeks. And people from the Middle East, such as Saudi Arabians, have also got it as well.
The public relations officer says this initiative will be of great benefit to Dominicans.
But in Dominica, with Sickle Cell UK, plus UK, they want to change that around and let people live a longer, healthier life by doing healthy living, and people can sustain themselves and their family in terms like the people from London will be able to help them financially and to give them how should I say it, medication at a reduced price. Very uncomfortable when you have that condition. So with Sickle Cell UK, we're asking to help us to donate whatever you can to help us. Plus Sickle Cell Dominica, when they have meetings and other fundraising activities, I'm asking the public to come and support us one way or the other.
The first recreational center for sickle cell in Dominica is expected to be completed by September next year. Coming up, activities for Kalinago Week set to kick off on Friday. Welcome back. As the Kalinago community gears up to celebrate a week of activities highlighting its rich heritage and contribution to Dominican culture, that same indigenous community will be looking to benefit from the financial contribution made from the Dominican public during that week in a new way. Kenny Williams explains.
This, as the first ever Kalinago Emergency Fund, will be established when the week of activities is over. Minister for Kalinago Affairs, Cassius Daru, told the media that the fund will benefit all members of the Kalinago territory.
Most of us now contribute to social security. We may have our little health insurance, These individuals who are 70 plus now, they don't have, or if they do, but they have very limited savings. Because our senior citizens are the most vulnerable, I believe they are the ones who will get more from it. I'm not saying that if a young person like you are in an accident and you don't have financial means at that time will not be assisted. I'm not saying that. But we are basically looking at the senior citizen who would not have contributed or may have limited savings. Because what we find these days is most of our young Kalinago people, they are at work. It may not be the big jobs that we may have, but they are able to save something to help themselves. So they will get from that fund.
The minister further went on to explain that there will be a high level of accountability regarding the Kalinago Emergency Fund. Daru also spoke of other benefits associated with that fund.
There will be a representative from the Ministry of Kalinago Affairs, one from the Events Planning Committee, one from the Council, maybe one from the Health or doctor, one of the community nurses. So that in the event of an accident, for example, we could dip into that fund almost immediately and assist that individual. But you may have a simple broken arm and you may just need a screw to place to do it back. What we can do is to dip in that fund and say to the Ministry of Finance that we have $2,500. Can you match it with us to give us a $2,500 to help that individual immediately? I think it would ease the burden on having to depend on the government for everything, but we would be in a position where we can help ourselves.
Meantime, one of the features for Kalinago Week 2016 is the focus on healthy eating and the preparation of healthy food. To this end, the first ever Fish Day will be observed on 18 September.
Now, it's the first time we're having this event, Fish Day. Fish is a very was a popular, recipe of food that we eat, and we want to promote healthy living. This Tuesday, we're encouraging the Kalinago community to do something Kalinago at home. Our usual practice of eating our local foods has been losing to fast food and other imported stuff. So we're encouraging people to eat something Kalinago. On the 21st, we want to come to Roseau, and people who don't have the chance to come up and see us, we want to bring that experience in Roseau, where we bring our cultural groups, bring our craft, bring our cassava, bring our kaki, so that those people around Roseau who doesn't have the chance to come up there will have a taste.
The events for Kalinago Week officially start on Friday, 16th September. Prosper says the Kalinago community will be looking to display their rich cultures to the Dominican population.
On the 16th of September, we're having the official opening at Sickle, which is the end of the eastern end of the Kalinago territory. And we'll be honoring here our Kalinago elder in the person of Mr. Rodney Stout. And they will have involve the official opening of the week. That will involve the Buy Kalinago product, which is a marketing strategy to invite all of Dominica up to the Kalinago territory for the week. On the 17th from 8 p.m. we'll be hosting a traditional Miss Kalinago pageant, which this year we have 5 young ladies which are going up for this event. On the 18th, that's where we get to pray in an ecumenical service.
A panel discussion on the rights of indigenous people, a band splash, and the youth symposium will also form part of activities in the territory. Kalinago Week will run from 16th to 25th September and is being held under the theme Kalinago Forever, Defeat Never, Embracing Our Kalinago Heritage. Kenny Williams, Channel 5 News.
And Houston, Texas will soon get a taste of Dominica's culture as 4 Castle Bruce natives have come together to stage the first annual Houston Afro-Creole Music Festival. John Glenn Bannis, Elvis John Finn, and brothers Michael and Earl Carlton Dangleben are the main forces behind the latest music festival in the entertainment calendar of the 4th largest city in the United States. According to Bannis, the concept for the show arose from their collective need for a music festival that more closely resembled their French Creole heritage. Their mission is to share Dominica's culture while uniting a diverse group of persons through music, food, and culture. Finn said Houston is a very dynamic and diverse city with a large Caribbean and African population. The show is scheduled for 1st and 2nd October. That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
In basketball, Fashion Line Falcons edged one step closer to capturing the championship title with a 63-51 victory over Fast Cash Prowlers in the 2016 Flow DABA playoffs on Wednesday. Kalim Thomas got 20 points and 5 rebounds. Kewan Thomas assisted with 16 points, grabbing 6 rebounds and having 3 assists. In a losing effort, Julian Isles scored 19 with 21 rebounds. Craig St. Rose chipped in with 10, Bernard Mills 8, and Fitzgerald Daniel 9 for Prowlers. Meantime, the league continues on Friday with a clash between the Premier Division Championship title contenders, Fashion Line Falcons and Fast Cash Prowlers. Tip-off is at Pichelin at 8 p.m. In cricket, former West Indies T20 captain Darren Sammy has lashed out at the West Indies Cricket Board after learning of head coach Phil Simmons' sacking on Tuesday. Sammy vented his frustration on Facebook and Twitter, saying, after the publicity stunt in Fort Lauderdale, the first so-called plan to move West Indies cricket forward is to fire the coach just 2 days before a tour. Meantime, Dr. Keith Mitchell joined Sammy in expressing his feelings towards the WICB's decision to cut ties with Simmons, who describes the move as bizarre and motivated by spite. He says the decision to fire Coach Simmons is consistent with actions of the current board, whose actions are usually motivated by spite and vendetta rather than what is in the best interest of West Indies cricket. In its statement on Tuesday, the WICB said its decision to fire Simmons was based on public pronouncements of the coach, as well as differences in culture and strategic approach. Team manager Joel Garner and coaches Henderson Springer and Roddy Edswick will now take over the side for the West Indies' upcoming tour of the United Arab Emirates. Next up, the injection of approximately $1.5 million into the Geneva playing field is expected to make it better than it was pre-Tropical Storm Erica. This according to Sports Minister Justina Charles.
We almost have something for Geneva in excess of $1.5 million. For us to know, we would have to do drainage because we recognize there are some areas that are waterlogged. So definitely we would have to disrupt everything. We would have to do drainage, and then after the drainage we would have to put some topsoil, then we would have to regrass. We're looking at doing some, in the long run, doing some bleachers, putting some so people can sit comfortably and enjoy the games. We want to upgrade the pavilion, tidy it up as much as we can. We're also looking at the possibility of putting 2 courts of basketball and netball, so you can have a family-centered kind of facility.
The Dominica Football Association has expressed its willingness to partner with government in this initiative to the tune of $50,000 US.
Dominica Football Association has come forward and is willing to partner. In fact, they've made a commitment that I think is in excess of $50,000 US, that they are willing to partner with government to upgrade the Geneva playing field. So definitely, as soon as we are ready, in fact, I have the plans with me, I have the costing, so we just have to begin to source funds.
She says plans are afoot to begin renovation work at the playing field before the year's end.
Before the end of the year, you will see commencement of work. And one of the things that I have done is I have convened a meeting with all of the stakeholders in the South. So I called them and so we discussed it and look at being out of this playing field, being out of commission, and alternative sites where they can probably do their practice and so that until we can get it. Because even at one time they were suggesting doing part of it, and then we'll do the second part, and others suggested doing everything one time. Because even when you do one half of it, we're not sure that people will comply with the rules when we say do not go on it because we're grassing it. So that is why we think that we want to hit it as just hit it and run with it one time.
On to football, the Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers captured their first win for the season after 3 matches when they defeated Exodus Football Club 3-1 in the DFA Flow Premier League on Wednesday. Last year was not a good run for the team since they lost a number of games. Gerald George has the details of that match.
Erskine Williams opened the scoring in the second minute of play, with Dylan Carlisle getting the equalizer for Exodus 1 minute later, sending the scores locked at 1-1 at the interval. Aldrin Lawrence put Bombers in the lead in the 69th minute, with Yanel Joseph sealing the deal in the 93rd minute. Erskine Williams was named the man of the match.
The league continues on Friday with Caribbean Cool Harlem United looking to remain undefeated when they take on RIC Kensborough at Jubilee Playing Field at 6. India A finished day one of their second unofficial test against Australia A on 169 for 9 on Thursday. Hardik Pandya top scored with 79. Kane Richardson picked up 3 for 37 and Jackson Bird 3 for 53. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time.
Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am Janelle Macpherson and I'll be your presenter this evening. Weak unstable conditions associated with this trough system was the dominant feature today, resulting in multi-layered clouds across the islands. Visible satellite imagery today showed a few low-level clouds across Dominica. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies were observed today. Radar imagery indicated some scattered showers across parts of the island chain. The weather for tonight: partly cloudy to cloudy with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers are expected. Looking ahead, marine conditions tomorrow: slight to moderate waves peaking up to 5 feet. For the next 3 days, tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers. However, a tropical wave is expected in our area by tomorrow night into Saturday. This will result in increased cloudiness and showers with possible isolated thunderstorms expected by Saturday. An improvement in conditions is expected on Sunday. Throughout the Caribbean tomorrow, weak unstable conditions will continue to generate fair to partly cloudy skies and scattered showers throughout the islands. On the international cities forecast, clear skies expected in New York, partly cloudy skies in Miami, some rain in London, thunderstorm activity in Caracas, and cloudy skies in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:54 a.m. and sunset at 6:06 p.m. We are in the hurricane season, so stay up to date by visiting our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. One man in custody following the death of a Bellevue Chopin resident. The possibility of Dominica being home to a Sandals resort is still very slim. And the first ever Sickle Cell Recreation Center on the cards for Dominica. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsSept15th2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.